Hello, I'm Fierceblooms, and today I'm going to tell you about pedestals and how to make it easier, because people always struggle with pedestals, but I've got some learnings because I struggled with pedestals initially, that I'm going to share with you today about ingredients, mechanics, and how to construct it. The sun's still rising because it's super early here, so just right there is the canal with the birds tweeting. Just over there is the farmer's field, and I thought I'd share pedestals because I don't know about you, but I felt like slightly out of practice with a lack of weddings. But I think doing pedestals is like learning to drive. As you kind of like know what to do. You just need to kind of get in the seat again and start doing the gears. So I'm going to share the ingredients and the mechanics and the method. So the first thing to say with pedestals is you have got to be super confident even, about the fact that it's going to stay up. They're super heavy. You need a solid base and a size of opening that's going to give you enough room to give an abundance of ingredients, because for any wedding, I always say to anybody who phones us up to discuss their wedding flowers, have one huge glorious thing rather than lots of little things if you have to make a choice. And because everybody just knows and notices, and you can stand next to it, and they're just very, very eye-catching, and they make a statement. So the mechanics, I always use chicken wire. I always use chicken wire even when everybody was using floral foam, because I really couldn't get on with that foam stuff. It's too rigid, and I want my flowers to look like they're still living, look like they're still kind of growing, if you like. So I use a chicken wire frame and water, and a lot of garden flowers need water and need a constant source of water. So that means that you can be super confident that when you've left your pedestal there and it's actually balanced as well as visually balanced, water is actually a tremendous weight, and it will weight down that thing as well. So the ingredients, I think the key thing about pedestals is scale. And the one ingredient that I think, unless you have it in a pedestal, they kind of really don't go. You need a wowie spike, and my spike in this is Eremurus. The variety is Pinocchio, and it just has this wonderful curve and flowers, and it's just huge. So in my cutting garden, I grow blocks of big spikes because they're tricky to get hold of, and also I can choose the colour of that. So that colour goes with this, which is mullein verbascum, and the variety is called Southern Charm, and it's just coming to the end in my garden. The common or garden mullein flowers earlier, but this variety flowers later, and the Napata is out. So again, with my wild garden style, I always want to include scent. So that Napata is in there. The farmers say when you can hear the railway, it's going to rain. I don't know whether it's going to rain because I'm looking at a glorious blue sky. So I've also got misty lavender, larkspur, a delphinium, which I think is called black knight, this clarkia, and the very last of my peonies. But I think you always need a little dancing face, and I always like to have a wildflower. So this is corn cockle, and it's the white variety. But when you're placing your ingredients, I always do mine in layers. So, and actually I start off with those big pieces and then build out from there. And obviously when you put your big pieces in initially, it just looks like things sticking out of a vessel and doesn't look very much at all. But I like to place things how they look like they're growing, and then sort of build a garden, if you like. build a wild garden and then add some floral style to it. So I think the floral design principles I apply, even though it's very gardeny, you can still have some principles, but I like to kind of remember what the Dalai Lama says, which is know the rules so that you can break them. So I think in pedestals particularly, you want it to reflect the life and ingredients of your garden. So pedestals, hope that's been useful. Please consider subscribing if you would like to our channel, where I'm going to post more useful things about growing and arranging.